for me, it was 2014 that things changed. That's when we went to our stockbroker for the first time and actually found that there was an account that had been opened. My wife had opened an account, she had forgotten about it, and she had not been investing. So we opened now a joint account. And then now we started the consistency from that time. So what I wanted you to say is don't lose 2 years like I did. Just start. And sometimes we complicate the matters very much, especially the investment side, yes? We are scared, what if we get it wrong? What if we put money and we fail? Yeah, the question is, what if? What if? So you fail. So now you know what not to do. And if you don't, you do it well, you're in a much better place. The people who are going to struggle the most are the ones who are not taking action now. So take action now. I told you, I confessed, today is a day for confessions. I confessed, tracking is not my thing. And so I can do it for a short burst and then after that it disappears. So what did we decide? Remember module 1? Tip number 1, pay yourself when? First. So what does that mean? For us, it means that at the beginning of the month, we've already saved and we've invested. So the rest of the month, if there's no money left, it's fine. So we've achieved the goal that is there. But what happens immediately is when that money leaves the account, you have an awareness of what is left and you function within it. So that small action of doing like a standing order, we split it between our SACCO and a savings account, especially for the savings. And then for the investments, we're doing mostly in the stock market and through our business. So it goes, the money is already gone. You've already done the thing that you have planned to do. So do it, set it up, and just do it without thinking too much. And then engage as you go forward. One of the things that really makes me happy about the decisions that we made, when we talked about putting aside and investing in assets before we get floor sets, that was a real thing for us, okay? And I believe it is truly a blessing from God in our lives that we're beginning to see the fruits of now. So if you had come to Centonomy now, how many years ago? 4 years ago. So I've been here 10. If you had come 4 years ago, you would have been surprised the car that I arrived for training at. And sometimes I'm a human being like you, just in case you didn't know. Sometimes I didn't want all the questions. So I'll take an Uber or I'd park the car far because I don't want this guy who's talking about money to look like he doesn't have money. Because sometimes, no, seriously, I am human. And so my old Nissan B14, it wasn't even a 15, my old Nissan B14, which was nearing 30 years of service, we hung on to those cars. My wife had a different car, but they were old cars for a long time. And for a while, we were investing in a property where we wanted to now gain rental income, right? So we lived for our first 10 years of marriage in a 2-bedroom apartment, the same 2-bedroom apartment, as our family continued to grow until we were almost bursting at the seams, When our oldest was becoming a teenager, we just said, now she can't share a room with everybody else. But for that period of time, our tenant was living in a bigger house than us. And that was a hard choice, right? But we are now seeing the fruit of it now. Why? Because it meant that we cleared our loan much earlier than we would have. What has that done? It has freed up cash flow to now live the kind of lifestyle that you want. It has allowed me I now drive a nicer car than I used to. Over that 15, it went from 40, yes, anyway, no. And other investments that have come. Why am I telling you this story? Because some of the things that you want to achieve will take time, and it's easy to give up along the journey. Don't. Don't give up. Let me tell you something. 10 years goes by like this. Anybody who's a parent knows what that's like. I think children give you real perspective, because when I think about it, you know, this was the baby I was holding like this, and now she's telling me what to do. No, wait. Hold on, baby, hold on. And that happened in the span of 10 years. You know, now those kids are the ones who are saying, now, Dad, you're not deciding what I'm wearing. They're making that choice. So it may seem like it's taking time. Don't worry. Don't give up. It'll come to pass. And let me tell you, there's nothing like signing on the bottom of that paper which says now you're not in debt anymore. Let me tell you, after years of being in debt. And you'll celebrate it. And before you know it, you'll pick another loan. Because you've seen the results of what you're doing. So don't walk in fear and don't give up. The journey has just begun. Just begun. Last point now. Last year, we went through a huge, life-changing moments. Not because we had some issues with one of the businesses that I'm a part of. And we saw the results of actions that we had taken over time come together in one place. We needed a lot of money. When we began to hear some of the requirements for this business, we were saying within like a month or two, we needed over 15 million shillings, right? Like to help this company pick up. And before that, I'd never done any kind of deals or raised that kind of money in that kind of period of time. You know, when you talk about raising money for business, you talk about 10 years and all that. But now you're being told in a month and a half, go find this money. And in that moment is when we began to see the power of relationships. Because now I needed to go and meet a bank manager because we needed a loan, even if that business was, it's on its knees. And you need a loan to help this business revive. So we went to the bank. We saw the bank manager. This guy didn't know us. He said, let's think about it. He was taking time, so not even getting back to us. So I thought, who do I know at Equity? Who do I know at Equity Bank? And then I realized I have a friend of mine from my church. We served together in different things. I called him and I said, I need your help. Walked into his office, and 2 days later, the loan was approved. Relationship. Hey, the bank was not enough. I needed to go to my circle. So first of all, just to confess, I'm not even the one who's the member of the circle. It is my wife who was the member, but it is now my circle, just so that you understand. And she had been a member of United Women's Circle, but not a very consistent member. You know those ones who... But we've done work as Centonomy with United Women's Circle for a long period of time. We've done some few things with them. And so I walked into the office and we sat with the CEO. And this is how the transaction went. So she called in now the loans office guys and everything, and they sat there and said, and she began to explain. Now, you see, this is Waithaka. He's my friend. What does he need? She put down the numbers and they're like, Well, we don't know. Don't worry about that. I'll vouch for him. Don't worry about that. I'll vouch for him. And before the end of that session, she had even guaranteed part of the loan herself. That's the power of relationships. So don't think that the time that you have spent here is for nothing. Please leave with people's contacts directly at your table. Just leave, because you never know when that relationship will come into play to change your life. It will happen. And in that moment, also remember to be a resource to someone else. So that because someone has helped you, always be also ready to help others, because you don't know when it will come back. All right? So guys, tip number 1 was what? Pay yourself first. Number 2, track if you don't know where your money is going, you can't make money. And tip number 3 was what? Focus on asset. Okay, let me try that again. For the video, edit, rewind. Okay, tip number 1 was what? Pay yourself first. Okay, wow. Oh, that's much better. Good. Why? Because if you pay everybody else, there's nothing left. Okay. I had that at the table at the back there. We were struggling with relatives. If you don't have money, by the way, you can't give. Now, I'm not saying don't give. I'm saying give what you plan, and then after that, they will survive. Tip number 2 was what? Track your spending, because you know, if you know where your money is going, you can make better decisions. And tip number 3 was what? Focus on assets. Guys, even if the assets as of today are just 5,000 shillings in the share market, guess what? You have assets. So don't talk it down. Please, at the next meeting at your chama, mention I am a shareholder. You know, they don't have to know how many shares you have. I have what? Yeah, I'm a shareholder. I'm on the stock market. And it'll build faster than you can believe. But if only you get started now.